Sandy, in its overview, was one of the largest disasters the American Red Cross had responded to. There was power outages. Navigating through the area was a tremendous challenge because, as I said, of no lights, no traffic lights. 13
states were affected. Millions of people, millions of power outages, and I believe, I know that the total damage in New York was about $41 billion, and in New Jersey, I think $36 billion.
Red Cross rates their disasters on a scale from 1 to 5. It was probably a 6 or a 7, which means it was above the normal scale that Red Cross uses.
They would look at the truck and say, it said Cincinnati, Ohio. They'd say, "Did you come all the way from Ohio here to help us?" And we'd say, "Yes."
The whole operation, I think nobody understands, except the Red Cross maybe, what a difficult situation responding to an emergency can be.
We were just there to help in any way that we could.
You have thousands of people called and being organized and working together on a moment's notice. It's almost impossible for things to work smoothly.
The shelter I was in at Staten Island, the number fluctuated between 80 and 130 people and between 20 and 40 animals. At the client shelters, which are usually high schools or churches or hospitals, we take care of the clients. We provide food, mental health, and any moral support that they might need.
Distributing household needs, cleanup kits, rakes, brooms, shovels, gloves, what people needed to clean up. As I've said several times, there's that whole emotional, psychological part of the recovery process. What we try to do is just deal with the opposite side of the physical damage that people are involved in. We see a lot of the physical damage on the news, and that's what people think of, but there's a whole emotional side to this whole process as well. People, young and old both, lose many times everything, from the youngest child who loses their teddy bear to the elderly couple who have lived a lifetime in a single house maybe. Try to help those people begin the process of putting their lives back together again from the emotional aspect.
And while we were waiting, she opened up and talked about how she was on the second floor of her house and she hadn't evacuated, and she watched the water rise to the second floor, and she was waiting any minute for her house to collapse. And she got so scared telling us that story, like she was back in that moment. And none of us knew what to say, but I think she was just looking for someone to talk to. People trust the Red Cross.
We're out in the field and we have to think on our feet as well. And we just start with a conversation. And very quickly, many times, the floodgates open.
Someone came in and said the street lights were on and the people cheered. So it's little things like that that make an impression on you, that you feel that maybe you're doing something to help.
And if it wasn't for the generosity of not just the American public, but our volunteers, we wouldn't come close to being able to accomplish what we do on an everyday basis. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for the American public and those who choose to leave their homes, leave their children, leave their families. Whenever there's a need, we're there, and we're there until the need is over.
I am very grateful to be a volunteer with the Red Cross.
It's amazing how this all works, and it does work.